opening goal for a dominant France who registered an impressive 34 shots to New Zealand's 9. Now, Minister of Sports Oliver Greens launched a D-licensed training program for primary school football coaches in Jamaica. 500 coaches across the island will have the opportunity to qualify for D-license certification in training sessions to be conducted in all 14 parishes, starting at the Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence. Minister Green says the course is in keeping with the mandate that all primary school coaches must hold a D-license diploma.
The courses are being conducted against the background of the requirement that all primary school football coaches in Jamaica must hold a D-license diploma. And I just want to emphasize that for us, football at the primary school level is of extreme importance. In fact, it's important to us also at the basic school level. But you know that the primary school is the cradle. And so it's important that those youngsters are exposed to the right training from that stage.
The ministry is also contributing $10 million through the SDF to the funding of the training courses.
In addition to the ministry being involved through Institute of Sports, we're also making a significant tangible contribution to the funding of the training courses by providing $10 million through the Sports Development Foundation. So I know we are starting with the D license at our grassroots level training, but intend to conduct training in the higher levels going up to level A.
Olivia Greens, Minister of Sports. Now, Jamaica Millennium Motoring Club, JMMC, recently presented a check of over $130,000 to the Jamaica Karting Association aimed at funding additional safety measures for competitors at JKA events. The donation comes as part of JMMC's ongoing commitment to promoting safety within the local motorsports community. The ceremonial check was presented by JMMC Vice Chairman Marcia Dawes to JKA President Neil Williams at the conclusion of the recent JKA race meet at the Palisadoes International Raceway.
It's time for Olympic Corner. A look at the big happenings at the Paris 2024 Olympics.
Well, athletes wore iced vests and spectators carried hand fans as a heat wave hit the Olympic Games. Temperatures are expected to reach 35 degrees Celsius with a heat warning issued for Paris and the surrounding areas. A yellow alert, the second of the 4 weather tiers, is in place in the capital, with an orange alert in Bordeaux and Lyon. The sailing events are taking place in Marseille on the Mediterranean coast in the south of France, where competitors wore iced vests to try to counteract the heat.
That was Olympic Corner. A look at the big happenings at the Paris 2024 Olympics.
There you have it, Nationwide's Olympic Corner. I'm Alric Swaby, and that's your sports.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
6:18.
For hard-to-get medications, over-the-counter and chemotherapy drugs, visit Dean's Pharmacy Papine. When others don't have it, we do. Dean's Pharmacy. Feeling better starts right here.
The temperature by Dean's Pharmacy, feeling better, starts right here, is
32 degrees Celsius in City Kingston and 28 in Montego Bay.
No matter where you come from, the classroom or the boardroom, the farm or the front line, there's no dream too big for us to achieve together. Catch the action live this summer with a 7-day Prime Router plan for $1,100 and enjoy premium access to Sports Max on us. Activate a plan today. One side, one Digicel, one Jamaica. Digicel, better connected.
Upgrade your HVAC system with Getty's Refrigeration Limited. They specialize in engineering, project design, and implementation of the perfect system tailored to your home or business. For top-notch service and unbeatable reliability, trust Getty's Refrigeration Limited. Email them at grljasocialmedia@gmail.com or call 876-923-652-123 or visit 226 Spanish Town Road, Kingston 11. Don't wait. Stay cool with Getty's Refrigeration Limited today. Your comfort is their priority.
This summer, transform your summer body with Express Fitness Gym. For just $9,500 on AutoPay, you'll get access to all our locations 24/7. Enjoy free classes, fully air-conditioned facilities, showers, and changing rooms. Plus, our certified trainers are here to help you reach your goals. Visit Express Fitness Gym today. Your goal is our mission. Find a location near you or sign up now at pay.expressfitnessja.com.
Experience Jamaica's Olympic triumphs in Jamaica Gold, a golden spotlight.
Brought to you by Petrojam E1087 Gas Promotion, serving Jamaica's energy needs.
The women were not to be outdone as 24 hours after Bolt won the men's 100 meters. 21-year-old Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price decimated a stacked field to win the women's race. In the process, she captured Jamaica's 9th gold medal in Olympic history.
And it's a fair start. Simpson down on the inside, Lauren Williams, and here comes Fraser. And Fraser of Jamaica running away from the field to win it.
Fraser-Price admits she was inspired by Bolt's performance.
Most people weren't expecting me to come out here and do something. So with that in mind, I know it wasn't do or die because nobody expected anything. So I didn't have to go out there and prove to anybody, just to myself. And I went out there and execute properly as my coach told me to. Because I was having a bit of problem with the reaction times. So I worked on that and then I just come out here and do my best.
Did Bolt's big performance last night inspire you or your Jamaican teammates in this one?
Yes, and the fact that Asafa is my training partner, I also came here to represent him. It's just crazy, amazing. I mean, all love to Jamaica. I mean, the support has been tremendous.
You just experienced a Jamaican Olympic triumph in Jamaica Gold, a golden spotlight.
Brought to you by Petrojam E1087 Gas Promotion, serving Jamaica's energy needs.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good evening, and welcome to Public Opinion. I'm Robianne Williams. A special good evening to our friends on our YouTube platform. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We like to hear from you, so we ask you to weigh in live in the comment section on today's Public Opinion. And I don't know, I feel like this one is going to be a very interesting one. It's a lead up to what's to come. Yeah? The Court of Appeal will on Wednesday decide whether Vybz Cartel and his 3 co-accused, Sean Storm Campbell, Andre St. John, and Kahira Jones will again, yes, they will decide if they will again stand trial for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams or, walk free. It's understood that the attorneys in the matter have been advised that the much-anticipated ruling will be handed down at 2 Wednesday afternoon. Newly installed President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop, well, she has the burden. She is expected to deliver what's being described as a landmark ruling. And guess what? It's a judgment on the eve of Emancipation Day. So, in our Public Opinion this evening, we're putting the question to you. Will the court free Cartel and his co-accused on Wednesday? Let's see on our social media platforms. Browning says, I don't know, with exclamation mark. Grace Davis is saying, go ask the judge. Yeah, we will see. We just want to hear from you. Let me see if I can get some of the comments on our Instagram platform. Paul Betts Deal says, I think they will order them a retrial, but the case will fall apart, as I am sure the original main witness is not going to do it again. Alric says, yes, they have to. They have to free Cartel and his co-accused. All right. Jamaican says, I say no, it doesn't look so. Janko is saying, don't know and definitely don't care. Okay. The real Shotta is saying Vibes Cartel should be freed if it's true. Few other stuff, but if that's true, don't need to go any further. Okay. The prosecution only have well, I don't know what the prosecution have. The real Shotta. Let me see. Trucker is saying him will never be freed. Sham is also saying too costly for a retrial and there's no guarantee of witness turning up, plus possibly constitutional breach. Leah is saying that will never happen. You will never live to see that happen. On our Facebook platform, Andrew Freitas says he will be retried. He believes that he will be retried. Winston says, let me not. Nicholson is saying, let the court decide. Of course, they will decide come tomorrow. Philip Jackson says, there's no price one can pay for the life of another person. It unfortunate because of the bundling of the trial. The case has to come to this. But time is the master. When the letters of law sets a guilty person free, the judge will act. When you see your neighbor beard on fire, take water wet yours. I just like how Philip Jackson always give with the parables them. Yeah, I like it. Tamika Robertson says, person do the same as him and even kill more than he do and yet they're freed. So what is it about Cartel? He need to be freed as well. He already did enough time. Wow. Big day tomorrow in the courts. All eyes will be on the Court of Appeal for the landmark ruling. They will decide whether or not Vibes Cartel and his 3 co-accused will stand a trial for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams, or will they walk free? The question we're trying to preempt, will the court free Cartel and his co-accused on Wednesday? What do you think about that? What do you think? You've been listening, you've been hearing what's been happening in the courts. The Privy Council overturned the convictions of these men, sent back the matter to the local Court of Appeal. We saw and heard the retrial hearing, not the retrial hearing, the hearing to determine if there will be a retrial. We all heard it. We sat, we listened intently. What is to come tomorrow? Only Justice, the President, yes, of the Court of Appeal, Justice Marvin MacDonald Bishop, and 2 others. They will make the judgment, deliver the judgment tomorrow. It's a judgment, as I said before, on the eve of Emancipation Day. Let us see what will come of that. You know, it's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a big one. As it relates to, if it is that it goes a certain way, I feel as though, either way there will be some implications. It's historic. Let me see. Master Jam on our YouTube says, logically, only a retrial. Bali says, if it was up to me, he would live there. He will continue to live there. Everton Williams says, retrial. Yes. Sandra Murray says, it's not my business. M Jam is saying a retrial. Let's see if we can get in some more on this one. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the landmark ruling that will be handed down tomorrow in the Court of Appeal in relation to Vibes Cartel and his 3 co-accused, Sean Storm Campbell, Andre St. John, and Kahira Jones. Will the men be freed, or will they have to stand a retrial for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams? Now let's see. Stacy says, free him suffer enough. Philip Jackson says, Cartel days. Can't really say that one, Philip Jackson. Let's see. Nathan Gill says the media make this man feel like he is God. Well, it's a landmark ruling. It's a landmark ruling, so we have to see. Stacy said free him again. Andrew Mackenzie says the state to the days died. Okay, I'm not understanding that one right there. There is no coming out for you. Okay, there's no coming out for you. Everton Wilson says leave him to God. All right. Jason Simpson is saying dash with a key, no freedom. Fully Disclosure says the court would send a wrong message. Basically, it would be telling criminals to commit these crimes and, try bribing jurors. Wow, okay. Yes. Patrick Godfrey is saying freedom is a must. Yes. Talking about the landmark ruling set to be handed down in the Court of Appeal tomorrow. All eyes will be on the Court of Appeal. Alex Smith says free him and warn him and make sure he can't sue the state. Biggs is saying free the boss. Yeah. What that Papa says cartel is a saver in jail. David Nebar says Jesus will fix them. Okay. Well, we will see as it relates to the landmark ruling come tomorrow at 2 p.m. I saw that a link to the ruling has already been sent out. A YouTube link, so it will be streamed live. I'm assuming it will be on the page, the Judiciary of Jamaica's YouTube page. So it's for us to look out for that one and to see, watch, we sit, we wait, and we will see, we will hear the outcome of this one. Thank you guys so much for participating in Public Opinion this evening. That's all the time, but up next, the Business Report.
Public Opinion was brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is
6:32. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Nationwide's Business Report. I'm Robeanne Williams. For the 2023, the VM Group reported a net loss of $374.66 million. The group says this is due in part to higher interest costs, declines in the stock market indices, and sustained inflationary pressures. The group says these effects were, however, tempered by its ongoing revenue diversification strategy, which saw the business increasing its stake in associate company British Caribbean Insurance Company BCIC. VM says its diversified business model helped to yield solid growth in on- and off-balance sheet assets of $15.44 billion and $3.24 billion, respectively. Further afield, U.S. regulators have ruled that Amazon is responsible for handling recalls of unsafe products sold on its site and must improve its process. They said Amazon's alerts were not sufficient to convince its customers to stop using such products and ordered the company to submit a new plan for how it will respond. The decision by the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission came after the agency sued the e-commerce giant in 2021 for distributing more than 400,000 hazardous items, including faulty carbon monoxide detectors. Amazon said it planned to appeal the finding while defending its practices. And technology giant Microsoft has apologized after thousands of people across the world reported issues with its products, ranging from email service Outlook to the hit game Minecraft. Down Detector, which tracks websites, showed thousands had reported problems on Tuesday afternoon. The issues appeared to be mostly resolved, according to updates from the company. The incident came less than 2 weeks after a major global IT outage left over 8 million computers using Microsoft systems inaccessible, impacting healthcare and travel after a flawed software update by the cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike. And finally, in the currency markets, at the close of trading today, it cost 157 Jamaican dollars and 42 cents to buy $1, 201 Jamaican dollars and 72 cents to buy £1 and 115 Jamaican dollars and 71 cents to buy the Canadian dollar. That's the business report. I'm Robianne Williams. Good evening.
No matter where you come from, the classroom or the boardroom, the farm or the front line, there's no dream too big for us to achieve together. Catch the action live this summer with a 7-day Prime Router plan for $1,100 and enjoy premium access to Sportsmax on us. Activate a plan today. One side, one Digicel, one Jamaica. Digicel, better connected.
Me, busy as usual, so I don't have no time for whole heap of paperwork. That's why I downloaded and signed up for my 1JN Passport app. It's a whole new level of convenience and access to services within the JN Financial Group. Just a few taps on my smartphone and box. I can update my personal information, open a JN Bank savings account, and even apply for an unsecured loan. Get it all in one go. Download and sign up now. The 1JN Passport app. JN will help you find a way.
Ready, set, go!
Where am I, the winning spirit? The winning spirit. Jamaican spirit. Where am I, the winning spirit?
Time for unite as one. Everybody go grab your rear rum. Support we at least them on number one. Shine bright like Jamaican sun.
Where am I, the winning spirit? The winning spirit. Jamaican spirit. Where am I, the winning spirit?
Must be 18 years old. Listen, drink responsibly.
Jamaica, Jamaica, it's here again. Fosridge Super Summer Sale, July 1 to August 31. Come get your wires, breakers, solar flood lamps, LED bulbs, ceiling fans, and so much more. Call 876-937-5099 or visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, Draxall, and Montego Bay. Up to 60% off the summer. Get your solar panels starting from $17,600. Come shop, come save at Fosridge Super Summer Sale, July 1 to August 31. See you there at Fosridge. Open Sundays.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
My name is Kedrin Campbell. I come from the Appleton Basic School. My favorite Olympic hero is Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price.
Watch for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price.
Looking back now, I say there's no barrier when it comes to your passion and your calling as time honors your greatness. So I thank you so much, and I pray that you'll be an inspiration to all young girls, mainly the girls, to know that there's no limits when you believe what you believe and continue to work hard. We are strong, we are powerful, and most importantly, we are fearless.
It's glorious gold once again to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price.
Stay tuned to the Paris Olympic on Nationwide 90 FM. Yeah!
Nation's Business is brought to you by BH Paints. Paint it, love it with BH Paints.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you so much for staying with us Nationwide at 5. I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Siobhan Campbell.
Good afternoon again. Good evening again, Siobhan. How you do?
I'm doing quite well, sir. You seem to have picked
I just
up
saw quite a speech by the presumptive Democratic nominee for the U.S. presidential elections, Kamala Harris, yes, in Georgia. And Georgia was a state that they were writing off for the Democrats a couple of weeks ago with Biden. Now she's wiped out the deficit. All the swing states that Biden was losing, she's now either leading or dead even with the convicted criminal.
You mean the
More on
45th
that.
president of the United States?
And convicted felon. Well, we're going to turn now to former Prime Minister Bruce Golding saying if consensus is not achieved, the country's ongoing constitutional reform agenda will be a waste of time. He was speaking at the University of the West Indies Mona Faculty of Law today during a reasoning session about the country's constitutional reform process.
Though it's not specified in the Constitution, our constitutional arrangements are predicated on a two-party system that produces a parliament with a unified government and a unified opposition. And the procedure for any significant change in the Constitution requires consensus, agreement between that unified government and the unified opposition. There are 138 sections in the Constitution. 58 of those cannot be changed unless there is agreement between the government and the opposition. Another 37 parts of other sections cannot be changed unless there is agreement between the government and the opposition. And the framers of our Constitution nailed it down that the government's complement in the Senate fell just short of the two-thirds majority that would be required to effect those changes. So that in practical terms, if the Constitution is to be changed, the government and the opposition have to find agreement. And you know, the framers of our Constitution were of the view that there were some sections of the Constitution that were so fundamental to the preservation and the good order of the nation state that they laid it down that even if there is agreement between the government and the opposition, certain provisions cannot be changed unless those changes are approved by the people. So what the framers did was that they cut three keys. They gave the government one key, they gave the opposition another key, and they said to the people, you hold this key, because if they want to change certain provisions that we have put in here, they must not be able to change them unless they come to you and get your approval. And even where it involves agreement between the government and opposition, if there is disagreement between them and the matter is put to the people, it requires not just a simple majority of 50% plus one, but in some cases a 60% majority, and in a few cases a 66 and 2/3 majority by the people before those changes can be approved. Talk about belts and braces. This is chains and shackles. That's what our framers laid down. So the need for consensus is critical. I'm going to refer to that several times before I sit down. The only way the Constitution could be unilaterally changed is by the use of force. And thankfully, that is an inclination that has never surfaced in Jamaica. So the fundamental reality is that political consensus has to define, it has to inform any effort at major constitutional reform. Now, recently some persons took umbrage at a public comment I made that unless consensus is earnestly and genuinely sought and achieved, any effort at constitutional reform is a colossal waste of time. As offensive as it might be, or as offensive as some may have found it, that is the stark reality. So it's set, and there's no way we can get around that. That consensus is not easy to come by, given the adversarial nature of our politics. The government and the opposition, the two major parties, like chickens bred for cockfight, are instinctively combative, even when there is not much to combat about. But, perhaps we shouldn't feel too badly. Look at the United States, which is worse than us. Look at the United Kingdom. Look at France. Time and time again, in our efforts at constitutional reform, that consensus has proven to be elusive. How we seek to broker that consensus is as important as the consensus itself.
The how. That's the former Prime Minister, Bruce Golding, at UW Mona, Faculty of Law today.
An inspiring message. He hit the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm. We have to somehow get out of the shackles and the chains of what is in the Constitution to guide us. And it's going to be a big, big task. Yeah?
Possibly the task could be said to be insurmountable in many respects, considering, as Mr. Golding pointed out, the adversarial nature of our politics. But I think on these very important matters, that may very well be the reason that that threshold must be met, because these aren't things that we should be able to just change on a whim.
Yeah. Well, the former Prime Minister also said it's not beyond the country's political leaders to achieve that consensus. He referred to past attempts to reform the country's constitution, where the political leaders at the time were willing to compromise.
That 1990s effort didn't start with the Constitutional Reform Commission. It started with a joint select committee appointed in Parliament. And at the very first meeting of that committee, Mr. Edward Seaga, who was then leader of the opposition, argued strenuously and, as it turned out, persuasively. He said, this is not the approach we should take. We here in Parliament, cloistered as we are, shouldn't arrogate to ourselves the exclusive authority to reshape the Constitution. We need to consult the people. We need to get the views of the various stakeholders out there. And he proposed a constituent assembly. Now, the government of the time could have said, well, we have the majority and we're not into no constituent assembly. They didn't. They took Mr. Seaga's suggestion very seriously. And by the second meeting, they decided virtually to collapse the committee and to recommend to Parliament that Parliament establish a constitutional reform commission. That was how the commission came into being, chaired by Justice James Carr and subsequently by Dr. Lloyd Barnett. I cannot stress enough how important it is for this matter to be approached with a willingness to compromise and to arrive at consensus. Because that's how that Constitutional Reform Commission of the 1990s came about. And that commission made a concerted effort to elicit public participation. Public submissions were invited and repeatedly encouraged. Town hall meetings were held in every parish. And that commission eventually submitted its report to Parliament, as a result of which another joint select committee was established to consider its report, and I was privileged to have been a member of that committee. The report of the Joint Select Committee, which was submitted in 1995, set out the areas of agreement that had been reached, set out the areas of disagreement, the issues on which they deliberated but could not reach agreement. And all of this was following the consensus route. Let us see where we can arrive at consensus, and where we're not able to arrive at consensus, let us tell Parliament what are the differences that we have come up against. I think that effort of the 1990s is arguably the most successful effort to date at constitutional reform in terms of the procedures that were adopted and the areas of agreement that were arrived at. And it wasn't easy. I was a member of that committee. It wasn't plain sailing. We had contentious deliberations. We argued and we quarreled. We laid down non-negotiable positions that we subsequently found we had to be willing to negotiate. And, as elusive as consensus can be, it is not beyond us. One of the things that helped that committee, that Joint Select Committee of 1995, was the presence on that committee of Edward Seaga and David Corr. They were the two surviving members of that 1962 committee that drafted the Constitution. And when we argued at Gordon House and we got vexed and sometimes cuss off one another, those two went somewhere, sat down quietly, had a cup of tea, maybe a red stripe, and they were able to work through those difficulties and come back to us and say, look, as your elder statesmen, we have considered this issue and we are proposing that we proceed on this basis. I don't think that we could have achieved as much success as we did were it not for the involvement of those two. You know, when Mr. Patterson was here the last time, he made reference, talking about this business of consensus, he made reference to the establishment of the Electoral Advisory Committee in 1979 at the height of some bitter political exchanges. And he spoke about the role that he himself and Hugh Shearer played in bringing that about. And I myself and Paul Robertson, who was then General Secretary of the PNP, at a lower level in putting that together. And in both sides going to Michael Manley and Edward Seaga and said, you know, we think we have a deal. Now, Michael Manley and Edward Seaga were not just bitter rivals, they were arch enemies. I can tell you I was there. And yet it was possible for them to find consensus. That is consensus being formalized at King's House in the presence of the Governor General. If you look in the background, you will see Portia, and you will see K.D. Knight, and there is the Governor General Secretary, and there is Neville Lewis, the late Neville Lewis, and there is P.J. and myself. That was consensus brought about despite the hostility, Seaga and Manley. So it is not beyond us, not beyond us.
That's former Prime Minister Bruce Golding. Well, drawing on the example of such consensus, he used his own experience when dealing with former Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, then opposition leader, during his time as the chief executive.
What became of the areas of agreement that were reached in 1995? That's almost 30 years ago. And what has been done to iron out the areas of disagreement, which were largely procedural, although procedurally significant. And you know, like in so many of our undertakings as a country, constitutional reform has suffered an implementation deficit. We were able to enact the new Charter of Rights in 2010, which, as I said before, I consider to be the most consequential of the amendments that were proposed. And it was a major achievement. I remember a man said to me once when we ran into him at a hardware store and we were talking about constitutional reform. He seemed quite interested in the matter, but seemed to have had little interest in removing the Queen. He said to me, the Queen don't trouble me, so we may trouble her. And I suspect that that's not a view that is confined to him alone. But we were able, in 2010, based on a bill that I took to Parliament, we were able to enact an amendment to the Constitution for the introduction of the new Charter of Rights. How? Because of consensus. The initial position taken by the PNP was that they're not going to agree to that unless we agree to the removal of the Privy Council and the accession to the CCJ. We talked about it. I remember saying to Portia, I said, Portia, don't make her go on a political platform and tell her that you have stood in the way of people's rights being secured. And she laughed at me. But we continued to talk, and until eventually, after we prepared the bill, in the House one day, I asked her to meet me behind the Speaker's chair. And I said, Portia, I want to bring the bill next week, but I cannot bring it unless you are prepared to support it. And she squeezed my hand and said, bring the bill. And that is how the Charter of Rights managed to be enacted. As I say, perhaps the most consequential part of the proposal.
Meanwhile, the former Prime Minister there, Bruce Golding, says other methods could be applied to the current attempts at constitutional reform.
The new Constitutional Reform Commission has submitted its report. The process that it used, let me just say a word about that. There are alternative approaches that could have been taken. One would have been to simply go through the 1995 report and check the boxes. And say, do we still agree on this? Tick that one and move on. Do we agree on this? Tick that one and let's move on. Alternatively, it could have decided to revisit those issues, updating them based on the passage of time and the fact that new thinking may have emerged. But of course, running the risk, the hazard of unagreeing things that had previously been agreed. When I looked at the terms of reference, it appears to have sought to do both. It speaks of building on the work of the 1995 report, but also to review based on the passage of time. So, for example, the question of eligibility to Parliament being confined to citizens of Jamaica, that was checked because we had dealt with that in 1995. Public defender, checked. Parliamentary versus a presidential system, that was an issue that was settled in 1995. But the new committee revisited that issue and it checked it. So there's no presidential arrangement, parliamentary system. Impeachment provisions, that was revisited, that was agreed in 1995. That was revisited and excised. I view that with some dismay. It was an issue that was heavily canvassed back in 1995. It was part of the JLP manifesto of 2007. Indeed, I tabled a bill in Parliament in 2011 to give effect to impeachment provisions. In the JLP manifesto of 2011, it was listed as a work in progress. It was not it was not mentioned in the JLP manifesto of 2016, but in the JLP manifesto of 2020, it is one of several issues on which there would have been wide-scale consultations, quote unquote, with the Jamaican people. The PNP signaled its support for impeachment because the leader of the opposition brought private members' motions or bills to Parliament to give effect to impeachment provisions. And therefore, I'm still trying to understand. If the JLP was committed to it, and the PNP is committed to it, but in the committee where they both sat, they decided that it's not such a good idea. I'm wondering whether it is the non-JLP and non-PNP members of the committee who persuaded them that this is not something that ought to be proceeded with. And I haven't seen any minority report from the PNP to suggest that we disagree with this decision.
That is former Prime Minister Bruce Golding discussing that matter of impeachment. He goes on further to say he disagrees with the Constitutional Reform Committee's stance on that measure.
Now, I look carefully at the reasons for the rejection of the idea. Firstly, the committee states that it is dealing with what is essentially a legal matter through a political process, as most impeachable offenses are criminal in nature and properly triable in the courts. I respectfully disagree. The proposals that were put forward in 1995 were not intended, although, and I'll come back to that quirk, were never conceived as a substitute for criminal prosecution. The Joint Select Committee of 1995 did include as a ground for impeachment corruption or misappropriation of public funds or property. So that would definitely fall within the concern that the new committee has expressed. Well, you know, if a potential conflict exists between impeachment and criminal proceedings, let's remove triable offenses from the definition of impeachable causes, rather than shredding the idea altogether. Because the 1995 recommendation went on to specify misconduct or malfeasance that renders someone unfit to hold office, not necessarily criminal in nature. You can have a public official who misconducts himself or herself in a particular way, but it's not a crime. But you certainly don't want that person continuing in public office. And hence, the 1995 recommendation also included misconduct so serious in nature as to render the holder of public office unfit to continue to hold that or any other office, or misconduct which brings the office into disrepute. And it further specified as grounds for impeachment refusal or persistent neglect in the exercise of the duties or responsibilities of a public office, abuse of statutory power or authority, deliberately misleading Parliament, or intentionally abusing the privileges of Parliament. As I've indicated, these are not necessarily offenses triable in a court, but the Select Committee of 1995 considered that they were sufficiently important and impactful to warrant removal from office. The second argument put forward by the recent commission is that the impeachment process can easily be manipulated for partisan political purposes. It is difficult to ensure an impartial hearing by members of Parliament that is divided along partisan lines. Now, I'm in sympathy with that concern. I find sympathy with that. You know, I have a deep disappointment that the political maturity that I thought was evolving, where partisan political interests could, in certain situations, could be subordinated to the national interest. I'm deeply disappointed that that evolution has not materialized. We are as tribalistic as we ever were. It's only that we no longer trade bullets, we trade insults. We are averse to finding common ground.
So true. The progress that we thought we were making in terms of the maturity, in the political process has fallen off badly.
I like that end. We've traded bullets for trading insults.
Yeah. Former Prime Minister Bruce Golding, he was speaking today during a reasoning about the country's ongoing constitutional reform process at the UWI Mona Faculty of Law. That's where we're going to leave it for this evening. After the break, the lemongrass, yes, its medicinal value, properties, yes, it's next with Dr. Dennis Daly inside Nature's Remedies.
Nation's Business was brought to you by BH Paints. Paint it, love it with BH Paints.
The mission of the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs includes revising Jamaica's legal and constitutional infrastructure and accelerating the pace of reform. The time by the MLCA is
7:01.
No matter where you come from, the classroom or the boardroom, the farm or the front line, there's no dream too big for us to achieve together. Catch the action live this summer with a 7-day Prime Router plan for $1,100 and enjoy premium access to SportsMax on us. Activate a plan today. One side, one Digicel, one Jamaica. Digicel, better connected.
With so much to do in one location, make Megamart your one-stop shop. Pick up your groceries and houseware needs, grab a bite and pay some bills. Fill your prescriptions and see the beauty products in our pharmacy. All in one amazing location. My Megamart, the best value by far.
Jamaica, Jamaica, it's here again. Phosphorage Super Summer Sale, July 1 to August 31. Come get your wires, breakers, solar flood lamps, LED bulbs, ceiling fans, and so much more. Call 876-937-5099 or visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, Draxall, and Montego Bay. Up to 60% off this summer. Get your solar panels starting from $17,600. Come shop, come save at Phosphorage Super Summer Sale, July 1 to August 31. See you there at Phosphorage. Open Sundays.
Together we're all people standing strong. 3 million Jamaicans, let's work as one. Such a course and work with a plan. Proud and tall, let's make the whole world understand. Every Jamaican have the heart of a champion. Such a core, big up with champions. Watch my style, watch my skill, watch my flow. Standing out anywhere where we go. Many goals, many dreams, many strides. On the black, green and gold, and we pride. Proud and tall, let's make the whole world understand. We are strong, when we are one, Sagicor, celebrating Jamaican success.
Good God have mercy, hey. Good God have grace, hey. Lord have mercy, hey. Spirulina build up my confidence. Rastafari run the continent. This King Selassie, I pay the consequence. Don't get it confused.
3 minutes after 7, and welcome to this week's episode of Nature's Remedies. This is a program which seeks to educate you about the uses of Jamaican natural herbs. Tonight we'll be talking about the lemon or fever grass. Yes,
As usual, you'll be opening the line so you can call us later with any of your questions. And we will now bring on our resident pharmacognosist, Dr. Denise Daly. Good evening, Dr. Daly. It's good to see you again.
Good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, Cliff. How are you doing today?
Well, Dr. Daly, Ricardo would be offended. This is
Why?
Siobhan Campbell.
Oh, my sincerest apologies. My sincerest apologies. Hi, Kevon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. I understand. We are regularly used interchangeably,
Yes,
me and Mr.
listen.
Brooks.
All right, so
The flow between, all of us and the prior. So, yeah.
So, Dr. Daly, the lemon or fever grass, very well known, very popular. We use it, make tea. But apart from making tea, what else we can use it to do?
So many different things. And we'll be looking at some of them. For example, it's very good for the skin.
Oh.
So it's good to make a nice mosquito repellent or insect repellent. So have you ever, go ahead. Have you ever tried that?
Go ahead. I've never tried it as a mosquito rip. Oh, yes, we did. Yeah, a few times. Yeah, over the years. Not as often as is it the noni one that is more effective as a mosquito repellent?
Well, this lemongrass, the fever grass, is very effective. It's added to a number of blends sometimes as an insect repellent. And that helps to increase the potency and the longevity. So it's instead of just having a 1 hour time frame when repelling, blend it with other repellent herbs, for example, lavender. So that's a great blend. Some lavender and your lemongrass, that helps to give not only a nice smelling insect repellent, but also increase the potency of your insect repellent.
Okay.
And that is easy to, for you to grab and make.
Yes.
And what are some of the other medicinal uses for the lemongrass?
Lemongrass, it's a part of the grass family, Poaceae. It's normally in your tropical areas, but if you're in temperate climates, you can always plant it in a pot, put it on the outside when you have a lot of sun, bring it inside when it gets cold. And pruning and preserving your lemongrass, so cutting it, saving the stalks, wrapping it up so you can use it throughout the year because of its efficacy and effectiveness throughout the year as good with relieving stomach aches. A lot of persons will have issues with H. pylori bacteria, with ulcers and indigestion. Lemongrass tea is very good in helping to alleviate that. It has antibacterial effect and also the soothing effect of the tannins that are also in the plant.
And there are various varieties of lemongrass. Which are the ones that are common in Jamaica? And is there any differentiation between their efficacy and their uses?
Citratus, not significantly. So Simbacopogon, I can never call that name, but Simbacopogon citratus. Cymbopogon. So that's the scientific name. The species is citratus. And we have other subspecies. So sometimes in certain communities, you'll hear this is fever grass, while they say this species is lemongrass. So if you look at the stalk of your lemongrass tree that you have, some will have that deep red or purplish color. And that's just a subspecies, but it's still the C. citratus species, which has the citral similarly. It has your myrcene as well, your neural, and these are some of the medicinal compounds. Limonene, that gives it the lemony flavor and also its medicinal properties.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Dr. Daly, how can it contribute to what we call holistic health and well-being?
Yes. So with lemongrass, you can have it as a tea. And making the tea, you can get the fresh herb or you can get the dried herb, just 1 teaspoon. Or if you have the plant, you just pull a few or cut a few of the stalks, like 3-4 stalks, depending on how much you will be making. So let's say you're making 2 cups of tea. Get 3 to 4 stalks. You wash those, you add it to the pot, and you can boil it. Make a decoction. If you don't have that time and you just want to turn on the kettle, just get about 1 teaspoon of the dried herb, pour on some water, you can cover it. If it's a fresh herb, you can do the same as well. Just a little more than 1 teaspoon. You can make that into a tea. If you have the essential oil available, you can have just 1 to 2 drops in your hot water, and that also helps with soothing the stomach. It has the antibacterial effect. If you have difficulty urinating, lemongrass tea is one that's very good. It helps to promote urination, relieving excess water from the body. And with that, it helps to manage or control your blood pressure as well. So there are different ways in which you can also have the lemongrass to get these effects. One, you can use the essential oil. 2, you can have the tea, and all the medicinal benefits will come from using it like that as well.
I know, doctor, that in many of the instances of these herbal remedies, you point out that you should be careful when having them with other medications and delaying when you have them in order to make other medications have time to do their thing first. Are there similar precautions that you would take when using lemongrass?
Lemongrass is listed as one of the safer herbs, so not necessarily. However, that statement stays throughout for all medication. If you're having some tea, have your tea, space it out, then have your medication. There has not been any contraindication or any reactions with having lemongrass as a tea with any medication listed so far. However, still maintain a separation. Let the lemongrass be in the stomach and help to alleviate issues in the body, and then you can have your medication. In terms of allergies or excess, again, I've always said temperance is important. If there's excess, for example, 2 to 3 drops in 1 cup of water of the essential oil, if you exceed that, like 5 drops, it can cause irritation to the stomach. And it can be similar to ginger. If you boil a very concentrated ginger tea, it will cause irritation to the stomach lining. And it's similar with your lemongrass if you do an excess of it. And if persons have allergies to grass family, you'd want to drink a little or try it on your skin if it's a topical before you take the full plant as a part of your treatment regime or wellness regime rather.
What about potential side effects, Dr. Daly?
Those were some allergies. If you're allergic to grass family, yes. And excess. If it's excess, it can cause irritation to the stomach walls.
Okay. So we're talking with a pharmacognosist, Dr. Denise Daly. All your questions, yes, about fever or lemongrass, now is the time to give us a call, or you can WhatsApp us, or you can YouTube. Yes, you can post it on our YouTube platform. Any more for us, Dr. Daly? Anything else there for us?
Yes, if you are experiencing vomiting, so if you vomited or you feel nauseous, that bad feeling, lemongrass tea. So grab some lemongrass, that can help. If you are stressed, if you're depressed, have anxiety, lemongrass is also a nervine. So we mentioned nervine and a couple of herbs earlier in this show, and lemongrass is one that we have throughout Jamaica at our convenience. So making lemongrass and soursop tea, that helps to give you better sleep if it's insomnia, or to relax the nerves if it's anxiety, or to increase the mood if it's depression. So it's very good to have it handy. So if you don't have a lemongrass tree, check your neighbor, go to country and get a little bit of the plant, because it's very easy to grow and it's very good to maintain and manage your lemongrass.
Yeah. The YouTubers are online, yes, already for you, Dr. Daly. Hi, Cliff, Siobhan, please ask Dr. Daly how to make the mosquito repellent. I have lemongrass growing in a pot, and I nipped a few blades today and boiled it with turmeric, black pepper, and ginger.
Oh, amazing. I love that blend.
Why? Turmeric, black pepper, ginger.
That sounds like my mother's daily ginger tea, actually.
Yes.
Oh?
Yeah, man. That's high anti-inflammatory. So any pain and inflammation in the body,
Uh-huh.
that blend will help to reduce it. And if you're consistent with that blend as well,
Mhm.
eventually you feel the difference. 1 to 2 weeks, you feel the difference with your muscles or whatever is happening inside the body. So that's a great blend. It's also immune building. So it mobilizes your white blood cells to find the spot where there's a virus, a bacteria, or any inflammation. It also helps to repair your cells. So that combination, your turmeric, your ginger, your black pepper, lemongrass added to it, very good in helping the body build up its system.
But to the question that they asked, how do you prepare it as a mosquito repellent?
All right. For a mosquito repellent, you have different ways you can make it. You can make it into an alcohol base. You soak it in some alcohol. You can add different oils and, an emulsifier, so to speak. That's a technical way of making it. And your essential oil from your lemongrass. Now, if you're at home and you have lemongrass in your backyard, pick some of the stalks, you soak it in some oil. What oil do you have? Coconut oil, olive oil, sweet almond, jojoba, you name it. You can make a blend. Soak it in the oil, and every now and then you shake it to allow the essential oils and the compounds within the lemongrass leaf to go into your oil. So you'll see that color change start happening. After about 2 weeks, you strain it and you have it in your bottle or whichever container. You apply it to the skin, and that's your lemongrass repellent. Now you can intensify it by adding a little bit of your eucalyptus oil, like 1 to 2 drops of eucalyptus oil, lavender oil, any other oil that you have. You can also make the repellent with more herbs, lemongrass, your basil, lavender herb if you have it as well, and create your own blend. Again, once you have the oil, apply it to the skin, and you will repel not only mosquitoes, but a lot of insects, lizards as well, if you want to repel them from where you're sitting as well.
Oh. Hold the line for us, Dr. Daly. We're going to take a break and come back with more. For Dr. Daly, you can give us a call. And of course, you can go online, WhatsApp us. Yes, your calls after the break. The number is 876-630-93-7124 or 618-8255.
Spirulina build up my confidence. Rastafari run the continent. This King Selassie I pay the...
No matter where you come from, the classroom or the boardroom, the farm or the front line, there's no dream too big for us to achieve together. Catch the action live this summer with a 7-day Prime Broader plan for $1,100 and enjoy premium access to SportsMax on us. Activate a plan today. One side, one Digicel, one Jamaica. Digicel, better connected.
The Jamaica Observer is always ahead. But did you know we're also #1 by far? With over 18 million page views on our website, over 800,000 followers on Instagram, and a following of over 500,000 followers on Twitter,
We're tapping into an audience like no other.
and the numbers don't lie. Contact the Jamaica Observer team today to reach your target audience. Give us a call at 470-9172 to advertise with us.
The #1 by far.
Ready, set, go!
Where am I, the winning spirit? The winning spirit. Jamaican spirit. Where am I, the winning spirit?
Time for unite as one. Everybody go grab your rear rum. Support we at least them on #1. Shine bright like Jamaican sun.
Where am I, the winning spirit? The winning spirit. Jamaican spirit. Where am I, the winning spirit?
Must be 18 years old. Listen, drink responsibly.
Jamaica, Jamaica, it's here again. Fosridge Super Summer Sale, July 1 to August 31. Come get your wires, breakers, solar flood lamps, LED bulbs, ceiling fans, and so much more. Call 876-937-5099 or visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, Draxall, and Montego Bay. Up to 60% off the summer. Get your solar panels starting from $17,600. Come shop, come save at Fosridge Super Summer Sale, July 1 to August 31. See you there at Fosridge. Open Sundays.
Dr. Daly is a former program director for the College of Health Sciences at the University of Technology and currently serves as a part-time lecturer. She does seminars on corporate wellness and team building strategies and health and wellness in the workplace. She also offers lifestyle and wellness coaching and offers personalized wellness packages. Dr. Daly is also the co-owner and founder of Nasare R&M Company Limited. All natural skincare products are available for customers. They also do private labeling and customized skincare packages. She can be contacted by email at drdenisedaily@gmail.com for bookings and consultations. She can also be found on Instagram and Facebook at Dr. Denise Daly.
Good God have mercy. Hey, good God have
Welcome back to Nature's Remedies as we discuss the use of natural herbs. We have with us our pharmacognosist, Dr. Denise Daly, as we discuss the use of the lemongrass, also known as the fever grass here in Jamaica. We're taking your calls if you have any questions for Dr. Daly. The numbers are 630-9371-4 and 618-8255. As I understand it, we have William on the line. Good evening, William.
Good evening, Siobhan. Evening, Chris.
Good evening.
Evening, Doc.
Good evening, William. All right.
Yeah, before I go to the lemongrass, do you know herb what them call redhead, Doc?
Redhead?
Yeah.
No. I'd have to see it.
Myself don't really know it, but somebody asked me what happened. So ask if it's a cold herb.
All right, I'll look into it and then I can share if I can find a common name.
Right. Because I tell the person, so myself don't know it neither what we ask.
Yeah.
So what it good for, William?
Them says a cold bush, a cold herb.
It's
Good for
called
cold.
polyredhead. Polyredhead herb. Have you ever heard of that one, Doctor?
Which one? The redhead?
Polyredhead herb.
Polyredhead, no. I'd have to look at it later on to see exactly what it's, the scientific name and the uses. But no.
You know it, Siobhan?
No. I just looked up the name of it, and that's what it's called specifically.
And the scientific?
I don't see the scientific name at all.
Okay. So, all right.
Well, I was asking the person also what them, so I just that name, I know it as the redhead.
Redhead.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back to that with the lemongrass.
Mm-hmm.
I have a plant right in front of my yard. It's about 4 feet and you can hide behind it out big.
Yes.
But I drink it regular, but I drink it sometimes with the turmeric and the ginger.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I normally boil the two of them together most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Or I just dry it with some of the neem.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I love the combination you do with the ginger and the turmeric and the lemongrass. You can sprinkle a little of the black pepper or cayenne, and that helps with pain and inflammation. And as a regular.
Okay, me never use the black pepper in yet.
Yeah, a little bit. And then with your neem and the lemongrass, that's very good for stomach ailments. So if you have upset stomach, colic, that blend is excellent. H. pylori, ulcer, that blend, lemongrass and neem, is very good in helping to alleviate, getting rid of the bacteria out of the stomach, but also healing the walls of the stomach.
Okay, Doc. Yeah, but one other thing, now what you said, but I never know that you could make mosquito repellent.
Yes, man. The limonene, that lemony fragrance. Mm-hmm.
You know, one I think, to know it's scratch, so me normally, always when you pick it, I know when you leave catch you, be careful to scratch you.
Yeah.
So it kind of really push me when me hear you say it, so me say, well, I have to really give you a call on that, because I never know that it was so versatile, not that use.
It is. And white scratch is the plant's defense. So when you're picking it, they have little ears that it can, like irritate the skin a little bit. But once you cut it, once you cut it, it's all right. And it's, it's not a real, it's not really high intensity irritation, but it's just the plant's way of trying to defend himself. But once you cut it, soak it.
And most time when you're picking it too, and you just catch on your hand legs or your hand wrist, or
Yeah.
elbow them place, and it give you a little stick.
Yeah. You know, as you mentioned picking it, my grandmother always say, when she say go out and pick your lemongrass, make sure you don't pick the ones at the end near to the ground because that's where the dogs will go. I don't know if
Okay.
anyone else have heard that one because dogs love peeing on your lemongrass bush.
Yeah, man. And ants also love got the root also too.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
ants
the
love the
grass.
root them.
Yeah. So
But
go
my yard
inside.
very fenced up, so there no dog or animal really can get to come in.
Yes.
Okay then. Thanks very much, Chris.
Okay, yes. Okay, William.
You're welcome.
Well, it's 24 minutes after 7. We're taking your calls to Dr. Denise Daly. We're talking about the lemon or fever grass.
So Dr. Daly, I've been trying to learn more about giving a proper massage to like a significant other or partner, and I wonder, can you use lemongrass as part of a massage pain relief regimen? Use the oil for that?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. That would be an excellent massage oil.
We can't keep it no longer.
It not only has that aromatherapy effect, but it also has the pain relief effect. So it's good for minor pains and aches and cramps, and preparing it similar to your mosquito repellent. Get your oil, infuse it with some lemongrass, add any other herbs that you'd want to add to help with the massaging effect, like rose petals. That's good. Lavender is always good internally and externally as well. It's very good for massages. And it increases the potency, the aromatherapy. So it's a full effect in having that massage. Pimento, can add pimento to it as well to help with more pain that one might be experiencing. So go right ahead.
You know, Doc, you missed the whole thing, Doc. Yeah? But the YouTube people are not professional.
Well, the pain massage.
YouTube is blowing up. You hear
Oh
that,
my
Jackie?
God, I'm not seeing it.
Backside chef Rod Massus, Andrea Henry, good Chevon, Jordan Cooper, whoa, Carleen Smith, Cliff knows chef business. Cliff is a real hypocrite, you know. Cliff Barbara Ellington, Cliff behave. Chef, don't look at Cliff. Chef, you want to learn about how to do massage.
It's important. You have a partner in your life.
Yes.
They need to be pampered.
And it's important to please.
Exactly. You need to learn how to properly pamper.
Naturally.
So you're going to use the lemon and fever grass.
Precisely.
Oh dear. Dr. Daly, you better go on here, I'm losing it.
All right. So one other thing. So it's very good for fever. That's why it's called fever grass. So I want to just share, if you have fever, how do you use your fever grass? Yes, you can make it into a tea. You can cool it, chill it, and have it as a whole drink as well. But you can also make a fever grass bath. So you prepare the tea, get your 4 to 5 stalks, or if you wrap it, get the stalks and you wrap it to store them. Do a decoction. So boil it, allow that to cool, add it to a bath, and then immerse yourself in the bath. And that helps with reducing your fever and having it internally. Good for cough, cold, and flu as well. That's why it gets its name.
Barbara Ellington says, Chef, me near hot me.
I need a massage. I need to see the feelings.
Should we take a break and come back with more of your calls for Dr. Denise Daly? It's all about the lemongrass or the fever grass, and it's good for doing massages. Yeah, you may need to learn a little bit about how to use it for massage as you aim to please. Okay, Chef?
I make me mix up the roots with Medina. Come off a tour and me knee feel weak. So me go a whoop road and go link fever. What good for your nerves, so what's up and sapata, coconut water.
Ready, set, go!
Where am I, the winning spirit? The winning spirit. Jamaican spirit. Where am I, the winning spirit?
Time for unite as one. Everybody go grab your rear rum. Support we at least them on number one. Shine bright like Jamaican sun.
Where am I the winning spirit? The winning spirit. Jamaican spirit. Where am I the winning spirit?
Must be 18 years old. Listen, drink responsibly.
Together we're a people standing strong. 3 million Jamaicans, let's work as one. Such a course and work with a plan. Proud and tall, let's make the whole world understand. Every Jamaican have the heart of a champion. Such a core, big up with champions. Watch my style, watch my skill, watch my flow. Standing out anywhere where we go. Many goals, many dreams, many strides. On the black, green and gold, and we pride. Proud and tall, let's make the whole world understand. We are strong when we are one, Sagicor, celebrating Jamaican success.
Jamaica, it's here again. Phosphorage Super Summer Sale, July 1 to August 31. Come get your wires, breakers, solar flood lamps, LED bulbs, ceiling fans, and so much more. Call 876-937-5099 or visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, Draxall, and Montego Bay. Up to 60% off this summer. Get your solar panels starting from $17,600. Come shop, come save at Phosphorage Super Summer Sale, July 1 to August 31. See you there at Phosphorage. Open Sundays.
Good God have mercy. Hey, good God have mercy.
Welcome back to Nature's Remedies as we discuss the natural herbs and supplements used to enhance your life and your daily activities. We have with us our pharmacognosist, Dr. Denise Daly, and we're talking about the lemon and fever grass, a multifaceted herb that can be used for many things: pain relief, fever reduction, and alleviating other conditions such as nausea. And what was a few others, doctor?
H. pylori, ulcers, pain internally and externally. It is very good. Weight loss. We didn't talk about weight loss, but weight loss is an excellent one as well. To make that drink, you want to incorporate it into your wellness regime and your weight loss regime. So make the tea, have it a few anytime before your workout. You can have it after your workout. Add it to your water bottles with your lemon slices, and it does help with weight loss. It prevents the accumulation of, you call it the abdominal fat, and it also promotes the release of the water, the excess water, as I had mentioned earlier. So very versatile herb we have in our backyard.
Well, we have Richard on the line. You have a question for the doc?
Yes, but first I will tell Doc, muy bonita. Doc, I would like you to take up ginger one night, because when I was crippled, that's what my mom used to remove the pain to let me walk again. Yes. Concerning herb, is it best dry or green? Because I heard talk about you can have liver problem from it. Is that liver damage? Is that so?
For the ginger or the lemongrass?
No, the herb in general. So because there's so much herbalist now, and they tell you, take this herb, take that herb, but it is said that some can damage the liver.
Yes, and that's where it is important to remain or stay with the dose that's required. 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoon, boil it, or just draw the herb. Because once you eat anything, the first place it goes after it leaves the intestine is to the liver. So the liver is a center that carries out detoxification, and it sorts the chemicals or the food or anything that goes into our body. Now, if there's excess or too much, then your liver will be damaged or can be damaged. If you have a poisonous herb or too much of one particular herb, it can cause damage to the liver. If you're having the herb with medication, that's counterproductive. It can cause damage to the liver. It's like you're overworking the liver. So you have to do it in moderation in having your herbs and separating them from your medication.
All right, thanks very much.
You're welcome. And we'll do ginger one of these days, definitely.
Ginger is a big one.
Yes.
Very, very big. So many uses and so much value. So we should take that on. Yes?
Yes, definitely.
Doc, the fever grass, grown all over Jamaica or particularly in some areas?
All over Jamaica, and it loves the heat. So that's why we can find it right across the island. And you'll have some of the subspecies, you have them looking different. And one thing with your fever grass, you don't need to water it, it relies on the rain, and it's very resilient. The more you leave it to grow by itself, the more medicinal compound it has and strength it has.
Yeah.
And you just prune it every now and then so it can spruce up new leaves.
Is it one of those now you can get at the supermarket? Of course.
Yes, you have it in a lot of tea bag forms like Tops Teas. I can remember definitely they have one as well. You can have it as loose leaf teas. If you go to the market, you can have your leaves. And if you have a plant, prune it as much as possible. And it's very easy to wrap. So, you do that, what do you call it? When you're making, when you have a string and you just fold it, and then you can use the leaf itself to wrap it around and create little packages that you can dry and store and have to use at your convenience. So it's good to have on hand.
And the best way to have it, hot beverage, no sugar, or what?
Hot beverage, no sugar is always the best way. You can also add it to sweet and savory dishes. So let me try let's say you want to make a nice cream blend or ice cream or milk. You can have warm milk and infuse it with some lemongrass. Very flavorful. You can then freeze that and make some ice cream if you want. You can infuse your fruit juice as well with your lemongrass. That's a good one. You can make a syrup. So get your sugar, your water, boil that, add some lemongrass leaves, strain that out, and then you have that flavorful syrup or sweetener to add to your other teas or to your fruit salad or to your pastries and so on. So that's one of the other versatile ways you can have your lemongrass.
I didn't think of putting it with my ice cream, you said? With your
Yes.
ice cream?
Yeah. Just
Interesting.
draw some lemongrass tea, sweeten it with some milk, or make it in milk. And it's a very refreshing beverage as well.
Doctor, I noticed you raised the concern that there might be some people who have an allergic reaction to it. How common is the lemongrass as an allergen?
It's not very common because of the grass family. So it's only if some persons who are affected by grass, being in grass, that will be affected by an allergic reaction from lemongrass. And if it's a skincare product, you want to test it on the inside portion of your skin if you're normally allergic to grass and plants within the family. Test it on your skin before you put it all over your face and so on. And then it gives you an idea of how it will react with you.
And what should you look out for in terms of a reaction?
For allergy, it would be like redness, itching, irritation, burning. That's for your skin. Internally, is that stomach ailment. Once it touches the stomach, it will have that pain and discomfort. And that's with excess of your lemongrass tea, or if you have an allergy to the grass family and lemongrass.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything else from you, Doc?
There's always room for more, but those are the main points for lemongrass. Have it as an eye wash. You can use it as an eye wash as well. You can have it as a part of your hair routine. Same, make some oils. You can have it as a part of your skin routine. There's so many soaps, there's so many products, aromatherapy, home care. So get your infusers with your lemongrass and ward off the mosquitoes, etc. from your home. So it's very versatile. So if you don't have a plant, grab a plant and plant.
All right, Dr. Dennis Daly, I think that's how we're going to leave it for this evening. We're going over to Paris early tonight, to find out what's happening with the Olympics. But I want to tell you thanks again for very informative Nature's Remedies. And we'll see you again next week, Tuesday, same time, same place. Thank you, Dr. Daly.
You're welcome and good night. Take
Good
care.
night. Good. After the break, Wayne Walker in Paris.
Me confidence, Rastafari run the continent. This King Selassie, you pay the consequence. Don't get it confused.
Ready, set, go!
Where am I the winning spirit?
Jamaica's one. Everybody go grab your rear rum. Support we at least them on number one. Shine bright like Jamaican sun.
Where am I the winning spirit? The winning spirit. Jamaican spirit. Where am I the winning spirit?
Must be 18 years old. Listen, drink responsibly.
Jamaica, Jamaica, it's here again. Phosphorage Super Summer Sale, July 1 to August 31. Come get your wires, breakers, solar flood lamps, LED bulbs, ceiling fans, and so much more. Call 876-937-5099 or visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, Draxall, and Montego Bay. Up to 60% off this summer. Get your solar panels starting from $17,600. Come shop, come save at Phosphorage Super Summer Sale, July 1 to August 31. See you there at Phosphorage. Open Sundays.
Multi-link, access every time, everywhere I go. Multi-link, 24/7 access for me. It's just a win-win when we use multi-link. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere. Spend while supporting the economy.
Look for the multi-link logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network.
Multi-link, 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my multi-link?
Anytime me taste any grace products, me and my friend them a fi bust dance moves. A fi run to the pot when me granny a boil soup. Grace food products in a that make it go down smooth. The taste that moves you, fuel the vibes anytime when the day Grace foods from the ends. Yeah, taste that moves you, from the spices move you. Everybody shout out Grace.
When the food sweet, we dance. When the vibe nice, we love. Good taste that moves you. Grace bringing the food you love.
Nothing moves your vibe, your mood, or your appetite like the taste of Grace.
Paris Connection with Wayne Walker is brought to you by the Sagicor Group. Out of many, one pulse.
Well, we are going over to Paris with our sports editor, Wayne Walker, who is live there for the festivities. Good evening, Wayne. How is things over there?
Good morning, Chevron.
It's morning time for you.
19 minutes to 3 in the morning.
Wow. Well, we have you up working.
I'll be on a train in 3.5 hours to catch Kishane Thompson's first workout.
Oh. And you have to travel 3... Oh, you catch a train in 3 hours, not...
In 3 hours' time to head out.
And
I've not slept. I've not slept because we're on breaking news watch. There's something big about to drop. I've been working the phones. I've put William Mitchell on standby. We've already put together the story that we want to go out if we can confirm it. And it's a story that we have been out in the lead with. And a lot of denials have come in different places, and we're just now waiting to see if we can take it home. So, and besides, I'm going through all sorts of emotions myself from a personal standpoint. So it's been a really, really rough last 6 hours for me.
Yes, we understand that, Wayne. But tell us, Wayne, what's the very latest from Paris that you can update our listeners with?
Well, on Monday, and I'm a bit hesitant to say, but on Monday we carried a story in sports that one of the leading stars was not 100% fit, and that star had gone off based on what we were made to understand by our source to Germany. And I'm being a bit cagey here because what I noticed is that yesterday I was doing an interview with Stephen Francis, and I said to him, Coach, I hear that Sherika Jackson is not 100% fit. And his response to that was, so I heard you reported. And then I was saying to myself, how could Steve Francis be so busy getting his athletes ready? And a report like that went to Jamaica, and he was able to tell me less than 24 hours after I said it, that's what I heard you say on the radio. And my response to him was, well, yes, I said it, because that's what my source told me. Can you say if she's injured? And his response was, she's not. She's 100% fit and ready. I said to him, if the 100 meters should go ahead tomorrow, would she be in the starting blocks? And he said no, because her training schedule was geared towards her getting ready for Friday, so she would still have 2 days. Then I said to him, can you confirm that she went to the doctor? His response was, I'm not permitted to say that. And there are some developments at the moment, and I really don't want to go out on a limb to say anything, but there are some developments, and if the listeners can sort of see where I'm going with this one without saying it.
I'm just seeing online the Observer's Robert Bailey, who I gather is in Paris, has just posted a little while now a story headlined, Jackson is fit and ready, says Coach Francis. Yes? That was posted.
That pronouncement from Francis came today. What happened, as I mentioned to you, the entire media cadre that assembled at the training session were doing an interview whilst I was doing another, and I got to that interview late. So I decided to take a massive risk. I said to myself, Wayne, if this backfires on you, then you'll have to pay the price. And that risk was, when I got there, no fewer than 15 people surrounded Stephen. I have my lap microphone that I needed to pin onto him, so I couldn't just barge in and put it on him because it would look unprofessional. It would spoil the interview. So I said to myself, you know what, Wayne? Stay back, and at the end of it, explain to Stephen that you got there late, couldn't put the microphone on him, so you're asking him to just give you one. And I took that gamble, and at the end of it, I went to him. I said, Stephen, I just arrived. I'm asking you to oblige me for 5 minutes. And he said, 5 minutes? And I said, yes, and I pinned it on. But whilst there, listening to the interview, I heard when he said she's 100% fit. And then when he spoke with me, he said she's 100% fit, which is also on our tape. So yes, that pronouncement. And I'm waiting. What I can tell you is that Sasha Lee Forbes was told tonight that she is taking the place of one of the 3 ladies who have qualified to run in the flat event at the Olympic Games. What we're not, or what my source has not yet said to me, is who she is taking the place of. But we were told that she was told following a technical meeting tonight, or last night, that she's in to run in the flat event. And so I've in this morning, now it's 13 minutes to 3, and I'm sending messages all over the place in the village to find out. I don't know if anybody's up. I don't know if anybody in Paris is up at the minute except for me. But I'm hoping. I actually told William Mitchell not to go to bed tonight until we close it.
The 3 who were selected to be in the women's 100 meters were
Shelly Ann Fraser Price, Tia Clayton, and Sherika Jackson. Right.
And Sasha Lee, your reporting is that Sasha Lee has been advised by the technical team that she's
in. Right. We were told that she was informed that she's in. What I can't say is who she's in for.
Yes.
And that is where the money is.
That's where the great uncertainty is tonight.
Yeah, I know what I'm thinking. But let me hold.
I understand, Wayne. Yes, let's wait it out. Wait until you get it.
Right.
You know, at a certain level that where you're comfortable. Clearly, you're not comfortable saying more at this time. So let's leave that alone.
Not yet. Not yet. But given the chain of events, what Nationwide reported on Monday, exclusively, because what we heard, nobody else heard it, and I can tell you because nobody else reported it. And so yesterday, when the press conference took place, it appeared as if. Well, let me not say more on it. Let's
leave it alone until you have more.
Yes. So the athletics, it doesn't get underway on Thursday. I've been getting messages. It's a race walk on Thursday. The athletics proper will get underway on Friday. Josh Curlew, the only swimmer that we have. He's entered. In fact, two swimmers, but he's going to be swimming on Friday. The swimming part of it is clashing with the athletics, which is kind of rare at the Olympic Games. And so we'll have to split our attention during the period, at least the early part of the swimming period, because he's going to be swimming in the 100 meters a butterfly on Friday, the same day that the 100 meters women will be in action. So it's a lot to sort of digest and a lot to prepare for going forward. As far as Jamaica is concerned. And you know, there's an old adage that, you know, especially amongst Jamaicans, that the Olympic Games doesn't start until athletics start, which in all due respect to the other events, it's not true, but I can understand the sentiment given what we've seen so far. Because the only Jamaican is in action so far here is Ashley McKenzie, the judo competitor, and the next time we see another Jamaican, it's going to be athletics, and then that's where people are looking for the Olympic Games to sort of kick into gear and move to another level. But so far, it's been Simone Biles in the gymnastics was really, you know, grabbed the headlines here in Paris as far as action in the Olympic Games is concerned. It's been a door Olympics so far. There's no outstanding person in swimming. I mean, the rugby is going on, football is going on, but you still don't get the jerk that the Olympic Games is on. And I'm sure the organizers themselves can't wait until Friday to see what happens, or to see a turn in the sort of, you know, see what's happening really.
Mm-hmm. And just a reminder, Wayne, what will be the first event up for us in terms of the track and field for Jamaicans?
Well, it's going to be the women's high jump. Lamar Distin, the national champion, she's up first. I think she's in the first flight of qualifiers. But the declarations were made yesterday, and now we're waiting on the sheet to come out to see what time she goes. Because I think she's scheduled to go in the first flight of high jump at 10:50, and Josh is to go in the swimming at 11 o'clock. So there's a close time between the next Jamaican in action. So it's going to either be Lamar or Josh Curlew. But yeah, the high jump for women, the first flight of qualifiers, and then of course later on in the evening in the Stade de France, they're going to have the 100 meters, and that should really, really ignite and get this Olympic Games going, because it really needs a push. There's so many side stories that are taking the attention away from the positives. The whole question of the heat warning here in Paris, the River Seine becoming, you know, dirty, and the triathlete can't get a chance to practice, and because they can't get a chance to practice, the event has been put on hold. And of course, the whole question of the heat in the city generally, but the lack of AC units in the athletes' village. There's so many negatives around the Olympics so far, and I'm sure the organizers can't wait for Friday, because once that kicks into gear, then we should have a different feel about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Wayne. You have a lot of work to do. You need to get some sleep. Yeah? Yeah? I'll be waking up early in the morning to see how much progress you have made on that story. Yeah? But thank you so much. And you have our sympathies, you know, about what happened today in Jamaica, not in Paris. Yeah?
Right.
That's a country we live in, eh? Thank you so much, Wayne.
All right. Take care, please. Thank you.
Good. All right, we're going to take a break and come back with our goodbye.
Paris Connection with Wayne Walker was brought to you by the Sagicor Group. Out of many, one pulse.
Experience Jamaica's Olympic triumphs in Jamaica Gold, a golden spotlight.
Brought to you by Petrojam E1087 Gas Promotion, serving Jamaica's energy needs.
The quartet of Tana Lawrence, Sharon Simpson, Aileen Bailey, and Veronica Campbell gave Jamaica its 7th Olympic gold medal. They won the women's 4x100 meters relay in a national record of 41.73 seconds at the 2004 Athens Olympics.
Jamaica is beginning to make a move, going down the back straight.
Bahamas trying to keep pace. Marion Jones now passing off to Lauren Williams. Williams running the turn. Jamaica running from second place. And what happened over there?
The American team missed the baton change and they're out. So that's a tragedy happened to them. The favourites, but in front, still the Jamaican team that's running well.
Jamaica is in the lead. And on the outside, it is Russia trying to move up. And Russia is going to finish second.
You just experienced a Jamaican Olympic triumph in Jamaica Gold, a golden spotlight.
Brought to you by Petrojam E1087 Gas Promotion, serving Jamaica's energy needs.
Looking to rent a fully operational production studio? Then Nationwide 90 FM has got you covered. We have flexible options to meet your recording needs any day of the week. Monday to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays available upon request. Bookings must be made in advance. Call us today at 630-1210. Let us help you reach your production desires.
Some of your favorite programs will be affected as Nationwide 90 FM broadcasts the games of the 33rd Olympiad from Paris. There will be no midday news, World at Noon, on Friday, August 2, Wednesday, August 7, Thursday, August 8, and Friday, August 9. The Mayor's Parlor will begin at 3:30 p.m. on Sunday, August 4, and at 3 p.m. on Sunday, August 11. The Consumer Hour will be off for the duration of the Olympics coverage, except on Monday, August 5. The JFJ-produced program Let's Talk Justice will be off for the duration of the Olympics. Cliff Hughes Online will end at midday on July 31. It will run from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Friday, August 2, from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday, August 7, and from 10 a.m. to midday on August 8. It will be aired from 10 a.m. to midday on Friday, August 9. Regular programming resumes on Monday, August 12. Nationwide News Network thanks you for your understanding as we make space to bring to you the exploits of our athletes and ambassadors in Paris at the Olympics.
Nationwide 90 FM is at it again. Team Revolution will clear every hurdle and sprint to the finish line as we cover the games of the 33rd Olympiad from Paris, the city of love.
Fraser Price gets the start, and look at this, Ahura going well, and here they're coming to close it down. Jetta's coming through, but Fraser Price on the near side, the Olympic champion defends! She defends the title! Wonderful run by Celia.
Nationwide's coverage is powered by our diamond sponsor, Pizza Hut. Now, that's delivering from all locations, island-wide.
It's 7:57 and we're signing off now. Thank you all, or as Mr. Hughes would say, or WhatsAppers, or tweeps, or is that the term now? Is Exos? I'm not sure that that term is now with the changes made over there. Thanks to Dana Davey, or super producer or technical operator Andrew Glenn Anderson, my friends in the news and production department led by the very capable Cara Powell and George Davis. I'm Siobhan Campbell.
I'm Cliff Hughes, reminding you take care of your loved one and look out for your neighbor. Good night.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis, weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of The Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
The Oasis is brought to you by Solar Tech Jamaica. We use the gift of the sun to power our world.
Due to exclusive radio coverage of the Paris 2024 Olympics, The Oasis with Lloyd Gale at 12:55 p.m. will not be aired until August 12. Nationwide 90 FM apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
I'm Dennis Brooks.
I'm Marlon Campbell.
I'm Floyd Green.
And I'm Garth Williams. Catch us on the Jamaican Dads podcast right here on Nationwide 90 FM, Thursdays at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m.
The Jamaican Dads podcast is all about providing men with a healthy, safe, and functional forum to tackle many of the taboo topics that concern our masculinity.
Like everyone else out there, we're dads of varying amounts of experience who come from different backgrounds and often view the world differently.
We're definitely not perfect.